Most Haunted Places in the UK, Part 1. Hello there, fellow explorers. Today we want to take you to the most haunted places in the UK. Folks travel hundreds of kilometres to these places of special interest. The accounts of ghosts and apparitions abound. That inspires hundreds of yearly visits to the many mystical spots and the array of ghost towns dotting the map of the country. Do you believe in ghosts? Even if you don't, you can learn a lot from those rickety old mansions, abandoned and deserted castles, eerie cemeteries and post-industrial landscapes. In this video, we'll be looking at the most haunted among them. We're not sure we'll be able to cover all of them in this video, but we promise to reward your time. 20. Aston Hall, West Midlands. Let's begin with Aston Hall, a Grade 1 listed Jacobean house in Aston, West Midlands. The structure, designed by John Thorpe, was built between 1618 and 1635. This red brick manor house is an example of the Jacobean prodigy house. Since its completion in the 1630s, it has racked up quite a few ghosts. Sir Thomas Holte, the first tenant, allegedly murdered his cook. Explorers still believe they can come across the ghost of Holte's daughter, who died after she was locked away for 16 years. It is generally accepted that her ghost still wanders, as does those of Holte's houseboy and a green lady, believed to be his housekeeper. These make Aston Hall one of the most haunted places in the UK. Contributing also is the hole in Aston Hall's staircase, created by a cannonball during the English Civil War when the house was besieged. 19. Skirrid Mountain Inn, Monmouthshire. Next, we are exploring a location outside England. It is in Monmouthshire, Wales. We are referring to Skirrid Inn, a public house in the village of Llanfihangel, Crocorny, approximately 46 kilometres north of Abergavenny. There are plenty of pubs here with grisly tales to tell, but the ancient boozer in this Brecon Beacons has more than even the most. Reports from punters indicate the slamming of doors, loud footsteps and whispered voices. It is in the legend that the building was once used as a court, and hundreds of defendants sentenced to death were executed in the inn itself. You can still see a noose hanging in the historic bar. This might interest those who need a reminder of its creepy history. 18. Margam Country Park, West Glamorgan. We are still in Wales. Really, the country by its nature should not be found wanting in mysticism. Now there is Margam Country Park in West Glamorgan. This location in South Wales is a triple threat. Firstly, it is home to the ruined Capel Mair ar Erbrin. Here, the unwelcoming presence of hostile ancient monks has been felt. Also worrisome is a big Gothic castle believed to be stalked by the spirit of a furious and unjustly murdered gamekeeper, that of Victorian children with a propensity for moving objects and disembodied laughter. A blacksmith is also thought to be walking the castle grounds. Only the ruins of the 12th century Margam Abbey are enough to command the hairs on the back of the neck to stand up. 17. Bury Pomoy Castle, Devon. Let us go back to England and stay there for a while as we continue to explore the most haunted places in the UK. A 15th century ruin in a wood? That's classic ghost spotting territory. Bury Pomoy's grand castle, abandoned centuries ago, has several creepy tales attached to it. In this location in Devon, it has been reported that screams and chills are common. Don't be surprised if you have scratches or bruises on you after visiting the castle. Examples of what is believed to haunt the site are ghosts of Lady Margaret Pomeroy, who was reportedly starved to death in the dungeons at the castle, and two Pomeroy brothers who avoided being caught by their enemies by leaping from the castle's ramparts. 16. Pendle Hill, Lancashire. Looming over hamlets and farmlands in rural areas of Lancashire is Pendle Hill. This is a properly stunning spot, though with its dark past. In 1612, for example, 10 local people tagged as the Pendle Witches were executed not far from Lancaster Castle after a trial. Some say the hill is also haunted by the spirits of people who lost their lives. In fact, there are reports of several strange sightings over the years. Of course, you don't have to believe this, yet you have to respect those holding on to it in this undeniably atmospheric place. 15. Blickling Hall, Norfolk. This is a Jacobean stately home on a 5,000-acre parkland in a loop of the River Bure, not far from the village of Blickling in the north of Aylsham in Norfolk. The mansion, built 5 centuries ago, is the ruins of a Tudor building for Sir Henry Hobart. Designed by Robert Lyminge, it is the place to spot a real celebrity phantom. According to legend, there is a headless ghost of Anne Boleyn who usually returns to the hall on the site of her childhood home. She is believed to visit the place every May to commemorate the anniversary of her execution. It is also believed that her anguished has been spotted roaming the nearby countryside. The spirits of 2 other landlords are said to have been heard in the hall. 14. Manningtree Essex. Lying on the River Stour, this town is part of the area regarded as the Suffolk Coast and Heaths Area of Outstanding Natural Beauty, AONB. Essex as a whole is where modern witches might not want to frequent if they remember that Essex town of Manningtree was the home of the self-professed witchfinder General Matthew Hopkins in the 1600s. Going back to memory lane, East Anglia's witch trials at the General's instance resulted in the deaths of many hundreds considered to be witches. Explorers are warned that they may feel the ancient anger of the persecuted or spot the ghost of Hopkins himself in the town. Well, in the neighbouring village of Mistley, people long to catch sight of him during full moons by the pond in which he infamously drowned a lot of innocent people. 13. Whitby Abbey, Yorkshire. Whitby Abbey, a majestic ruin, is on the East Cliff overlooking the North Sea in North Yorkshire, England. It has behind it a history of over 15 centuries of religion, power and inspiration, as it was founded in 657 by King Oswy of Northumbria. The king chose Lady Hilda, considered a saint and noblewoman, as the Doubles Monastery's first abbess. Whitby Abbey hosted the landmark of Synod of Whitby in 664, during which the future of Christianity in England was decided. This location is the perfect setting for a ghost story. Besides its Gothic vibe and Dracula connection, its atmospheric Whitby Abbey is also believed to be home to a ghost thought to be a young nun bricked up alive in the walls for breaking her vows. There's also a phantom hearse with 4 headless horses and a headless driver. 12. Dunelm Castle, Isle of Skye. Now let's go to the Isle of Skye, or simply Skye in Scotland. Yes, we have plenty of such places in Scotland. Skye is the largest and northernmost major island in the Inner Hebrides of Scotland. You'll discover something ethereal and other about this location, with its mind-boggling landscapes, plus its mystical places identified by uncommon names as the Fairy Pools and Fairy Glen. Oh, excuse me, we're talking about Dunelm Castle. With ruins clinging to the northern tip of the island, the castle was built in the late 14th century before being deserted and abandoned around 1730. Today, it's best viewed from a safe distance since it's so unstable. It reportedly has ghosts of a nursemaid said to be murdered after accidentally dropping a clan chief's baby through the window into the sea below. 11. Plumley Kent. There's another one of the most haunted places in the UK in Kent, England. It's none other than a picturesque village and civil parish in the Ashford district. It's called Plumley. It's famous for being the location for the filming of the TV series The Darling Buds of May. However, it's on this list because it's thought to have been entirely overrun with ghosts. Believe it or not, villagers proudly boast of their home spot in the Guinness Book of Records. It was once awarded as Britain's most haunted village due to its 12 official apparitions that were believed to roam the place. If you swing by, try and see if you can get hype from a phantom coach and horses, a schoolmaster, a tree-dwelling highwayman, and a small white dog among others on the long list. Oops, we must stop here. Surely the places you see here are not all the only haunted places in the UK. Please join us for part 2 of this video. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.